Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill has been accused of crimes that make Fani Willis look like a natural-born saint. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspending Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill after she was arrested on some pretty serious charges. Now, we all know about Fani Willis over there in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. These cases are kind of comparable, but not really. Fani Willis, what she is accused of doing is hiring a boyfriend and paying him $670,000 US to basically do nothing on a Donald Trump election interference case and then get taken on trips and vacations and whatnot with some of that money, allegedly. That is the allegation against Fani Willis. Now, one thing that Fani Willis has not been accused of is elder abuse. Now, Regina Hill can't say the same thing. Before we get into a video, let's look at an article right quick from the Orlando Sentinel. You see the headline right here. Probe, Orlando commissioner spent 96-year-old's money on home upgrades and IV treatments. I'm not making that up. You reading that right, and I'm reading it right to you. A judge hit Regina Hill with an elder exploitation injunction to stop irreparable harm. Now, let's see exactly what's going on. How much money did she spend? What's going on? An Orange County Circuit Judge has ordered Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill to stop all contact with a 96-year-old constituent after Hill was accused of obtaining power of attorney over the woman in 2021 and using that legal position to spend more than $100,000 of the woman's savings, rack up more than $10,000 in debt in the woman's name, and purchase a home using the woman as a co-signer. So we're talking about actual cash that's being spent. We're talking about debt on the credit card that's accrued, and also debt, I suppose, on the mortgage that has been obtained using this woman's identity. Now, check it out. Court documents allege Hill used the money to pay for a facelift, dental surgery, purchase expensive perfume, clothing, book a hotel in Miami for New Year's Eve vacation, and obtain numerous intravenous vitamin infusions at Vita Lounge. I mean, you know what? See, it's one thing to steal, but it's something else to steal from a 96-year-old woman, and then you're using the money to get basic, ridiculous BS you might see on Instagram, Facebook, etc. How many times are we going to see the same pattern over and over again? People stealing to live this Instagram lifestyle. I'm getting triggered. So before I go too deep into it, let's get into the actual news clip. Yes, that's her after a facelift. I mean, look, you stole from an old lady. You stole from an almost 100-year-old lady, allegedly, for a facelift. And I don't see evidence of that money that you stole doing any good. Now, let's go ahead and just watch this. And of course, I'm going to link to the article and the news clip, everything in the description. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Right now, Governor Ron DeSantis has suspended Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill just days after she was indicted on criminal charges. Just moments ago, we received a statement from Hill saying, in part, "My confidence in the integrity of the legal process and faith in God is unwavering."
Oh, they always try to lean into God. They always lean into God. My faith in God. Well, where was God at when you allegedly stole $100,000 from that 96-year-old lady? Where was God at that moment, allegedly?
And I'm deeply moved by the support from our community. I will wait for my day in court when I'll be able to prove my innocence and that I always acted in good faith. Watch News Tonight, Gabrielle Geddes was at the first city council meeting since Hill's suspension, and tonight the mayor says they will now work to find another person to fill her seat.
Yeah, the city council will hold a special election next month where someone will be selected to temporarily serve District 5 until Regina Hill's criminal case is closed. Now, at the city council meeting today, Mayor Buddy Dyer said the allegations against his colleague come as a shock.
We have been notified that Governor DeSantis entered an executive order under state law temporarily suspending Commissioner Hill.
Before getting to business, Mayor Buddy Dyer shared how the city council had just learned that one of the seats will remain empty. It's been 4 days since Hill was taken to jail on criminal charges, accused of taking advantage of a 96-year-old woman living in her district.
As a city, our focus is ensuring the residents of District 5 are appropriately served and represented.
At the meeting, one resident shared how he and his community have been let down.
Very heartfelt, very disappointing. This is not fair to the disability community that one of our very own commissioners that we actually looked up to, that actually said that she was one of the biggest supporters of the disability community, would even do something like this.
Hill posted bond last week after she was indicted on charges that include exploitation and mortgage fraud. Florida Department of Law Enforcement spent nearly a year investigating Hill.
Listen, mortgage fraud, you go into the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. You know, some of the other things maybe, but mortgage fraud, credit card fraud, oh yeah. If what she is accused of doing is proven to be true and she's convicted, oh yeah, she's up the river, no paddle.
Agents say Hill spent more than $100,000 from the victim's savings and used the money on personal things like a facelift, a hotel stay, and dental surgery. At a news conference in Miami Monday, DeSantis said the indictment triggered his decision.
If she's convicted, then she's out for good. If she's exonerated, then she can come back.
Regina Hill showed up to City Hall Monday, but following the suspension, she couldn't take her seat when the council meeting began.
It makes me sad. I was pretty stunned by the allegations in themselves. It doesn't seem like Commissioner Hill to me. She's been a caregiver. She's been a nurse. She fights hard for district.
See, that happens a lot, though. You know, talking about caregivers and nurses, sometimes they do things like this. Sometimes, not all the time, not very often, but you're in a situation where you can do that. I have heard about these things happening before. Okay, they are kind of closer to the person. They can get power of attorney and do certain things like this. Now, I don't know where the woman's family is. If she has any family, I have no idea. But sometimes this kind of thing can happen when you have that close of access to someone who's in a vulnerable situation.
Now, May 21st will be the day the council will decide who will serve the District 5 City Commission seat. But next Monday, the council will hold a special meeting to begin the process of finding qualified candidates. We're live in downtown Orlando.
So that's what's happening with Regina Hill, Orlando commissioner, being suspended by Ron DeSantis by way of executive order. Shout out to him for doing that. And what he said was right on point. It's like, look, if she's convicted, then she's out. But if she is exonerated, found innocent, okay, come on back. But obviously, to get arrested and then for this to come out, there's some kind of evidence against her. You're not going to take off, Orlando commissioner, like a person in government, state government, with no evidence. So I think there is something here. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about buying a house, IV treatments at Vital Lounge, a facelift. Then they said she was getting perfume. I mean, stupid stuff, dumb stuff. Look. As I close, I want to say this. It's bad enough to steal. That's wrong already. It doesn't matter what you spend the money on. But then when you steal and buy stupid things, it's like, all you really doing for, the purpose of stealing was to try and live this Instagram lifestyle for vanity. It's all about, I'm sure she has an Instagram profile, Facebook, well, probably her with her age, Facebook profile. You're posting yourself in the hotel room. You're posting this and you're posting that. And it's all because you took advantage of a 96-year-old lady, allegedly. That's pretty gross to me. And I'm seeing the pattern of this kind of thing going on. People taking campaign money, people taking taxpayer money, people taking straight up stealing money from constituents and using it for vanity purposes. This is a pattern. And the vanity, the need to be seen, the need to be on social media, they need to be beautiful. That is fueling the theft, in my humble opinion. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what Ron DeSantis did by suspending the commissioner rather than just, removing her because there's no conviction? Let's suspend her right now. There's a lot of evidence, obviously. There's a lot going on here. So you got to do something. You can't just do nothing. She got arrested. So, okay. She's able to get out, but she still got arrested. So suspend her, and then if everything works out, okay, come on back and it's good. But if you are convicted, then you're out. Whatever your thoughts on that process are, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about people that do things like this? If she's proven, again, I want to reiterate myself, so pardon me if I'm repeating myself, but if she's proven to be guilty, how do you feel about this kind of behavior? What's worse, stealing from just a taxpayer pot, misappropriating money that should be for one thing, like C-19, and using it to pay an attorney, allegedly, and then get some of the money back to you in a kickback? What's worse, that or straight up stealing from a 96-year-old lady because you are a caretaker, a nurse, and you get power of attorney, and you buying a house in her name, and you buying perfect? Like, what's worse? Both bad. Stealing is stealing regardless of what. But what's worse in your opinion? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This lady needs to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks if she's guilty. That, like, this is despicable, man. Like, crimes against the disabled or, you know, children. I mean, you're like the scum of the earth. The absolute scum of the earth, the worst of the worst. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.